Recap. After a car accident, a wealthy businesswoman wakes up with no memory. A young man finds her disoriented by the roadside and invites her to stay with him while she recovers. As she slowly regains pieces of her past, she keeps quiet about who she was because she is falling in love with him. When he discovers she hasn't told him the truth, he feels betrayed. She finally explains her silence and confesses her love. He forgives her and reveals he loves her too. She proposes marriage and asks him to move into her mansion. He says yes. Chapter 1. The Roadside. I still remember the night I found her. I had been driving back from a late shift at the shop when a flash of metal and broken glass caught my eye. A luxury car hugged the guardrail, its front crushed, headlights sputtering. She was sitting on the grass, hands trembling, eyes wide and searching but seeing nothing. She didn't know her name. She didn't know where she was going. She didn't know who she was. I'm not the type to leave someone on the side of the road. I wrapped her in my jacket, called an ambulance, and when the responder said she didn't need to be transported, I offered to take her somewhere safe. She nodded, bewildered, as though agreeing simply to follow a stranger whose voice felt familiar in that moment of shock. Driving her to my apartment, I learned only that she remembered nothing and that she trusted me enough to hold on to my hand. That's how it began. Chapter 2. Shelter and Questions. My place was small but tidy. I made coffee, found an extra blanket, and sat with her while she looked at everything like it was new. She moved slowly, touching the furniture as if learning what a couch was for. We tried to piece together who she might be. No ID, no memory of family. Just a ring of confusion wrapped around a poised, fragile person who smelled faintly of perfume and wore an expensive watch that told me more about what she used to be than she could say. I asked her name. She shrugged. I introduced myself, Jake, and she said it sounded nice. Her face would settle into a small smile and then disappear when she saw her own reflection. I recognized the fear most people feel when the ground under them gives way. I offered her a place to stay while she recovered. She accepted with a cautious nod. The first week was about routines. I made breakfast. She learned how to boil eggs. We walked the dog. She practiced saying simple words aloud, as if training herself to be human again. During quiet evenings, I watched her fall asleep and felt something like protection bloom inside me. Chapter 3. The Slow Return. Memory returned in fragments, a flash of marble stairs, the click of a high heel, the scent of roses in a manicured garden. She would pause mid-bite, eyes distant, then smile as if remembering a tune. Each time she regained a piece, I expected her to announce it, to tell me the life she had left behind. But she didn't. Instead, she grew quiet and near. She helped plant flowers in my small yard, arranged my living room with a care that felt practiced, and learned to cook dishes that tasted like they belonged in a distant, sunlit kitchen. She found joy in small things and claimed them gently, as if making new ownership of simple moments. I began to notice how she watched me when she thought I wasn't looking, a softness around her eyes that rearranged my chest. I told myself not to read too much into it. She had been through something terrible, but being with her was easy. Her laughter repaired rough edges in me I hadn't known were broken. Chapter 4. The Discovery. One afternoon I found a business card tucked inside a book she had brought with her. The card had a logo and an address to a mansion I recognized from city magazines. A key, ornate and heavy, lay beneath a stack of envelopes. My heart did something I hadn't expected. It tightened, then broke into sharp fragments. When I asked her where those items came from, she avoided the question. She smiled in a way that didn't meet my eyes and said she couldn't remember. Days later, she began to receive messages. People arrived at the door asking about board meetings, about charity events, and about her absence. She listened politely and then slipped back into silence. I felt foolish and betrayed. She had not been entirely honest with me. I had shared my life with her while she kept another life folded inside her pockets. I confronted her one evening, and for the first time I saw fear and shame as one. She told me she hadn't lied to hurt me. She hadn't spoken because the pieces of her past terrified her. If she said them aloud, she thought they might drag her away from what she was building here, with me. Chapter 5. Truth and Forgiveness. She sat across from me and finally told the whole story. She had been the CEO of a company that demanded everything from her. A life of meetings and mansions and polite smiles. She had driven home alone that night after a bored dinner and had no clear memory of the drive. She feared returning to the old life of decisions and distance. She feared that the woman she was before, guarded and alone, would replace the person she felt becoming. She reached for my hand. "I didn't want to lose this," she said softly. "I didn't want to lose you." Then, with trembling honesty, she told me she had fallen in love with me while she was trying to remember. I listened, and the ache I'd carried eased into something kindred. I admitted my hurt, and she understood. She apologized for keeping things hidden. I forgave her, not because it was easy, but because what she had given me these months was real. Trust, laughter, care. I told her I had fallen in love too. The words were simple, clean, and they changed the room. Chapter 6. A Proposal and a New Home. Then she surprised me. She reached into a small box and pulled out a simple ring, eyes bright. "Will you marry me?" she asked, voice steady now and oddly certain. I could have laughed at the reversal. I could have insisted on tradition. Instead I took the ring, slid it on her finger, and said yes. We stood in my humble living room and planned a life that would hold both her past and our present. She asked me to move into the mansion with her, to share whatever came next. I accepted. We found a balance. She re-entered her world with me at her side, and I learned to walk its marble halls and corporate rooms. She learned to let me into decisions that once belonged only to her. Our life wasn't perfect, but it was ours. Memory had returned, but it didn't push us apart. It gave us choices, and love made those choices easier. Sometime later, standing on the mansion's balcony with a view of the city lights, I realized that losing her memory had been a tragedy and a gift. It had given her the chance to see herself without armor and given me the chance to love someone for who she could be, not who she was supposed to be. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, give the video a like, leave a comment with your thoughts, and share it with friends.